Don in London, hello. It's 21st of June 2009, Sunday morning, just after 8:30, and my videos are all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My substance, alcohol; my behaviour, trying to be perfect and never ever so. I don't know if I strive for perfection, but I strived very, very hard to do my best. And so a drinkaholic, alcoholic, workaholic, always I suppose motivated by being seen to do well, and at the same time actually doing well. So whatever I turned my hand to, I generally did okay. And I guess on one particular matter I didn't do okay, but I did use it for a long time as my best friend, and that was alcohol. And it let me down in the end, or I let it down. I couldn't keep on drinking, it was killing me. And so many of us get alcohol dependent, and if it wasn't alcohol, it might be a behaviour, loving people, relationships, you name it, we can go for it. Going to the gym, eating too much, all these are disorderly if they're out on the extremes. So somewhere there is balance in there. And somebody said in a meeting recently, or whenever it was, that when do I see balance? Actually, it's something I see as I swing by from one extreme to the other. So somewhere there is a balance, and maybe we can only make it on a daily basis. So recovery for me is a daily part of my life. In fact, I suppose it's the mainstay, the keystone. So if I get recovery, I don't know, under control, but making better choices in life, I can make the rest of life be as it may be, and be open, honest and willing to what might go on. So for me, this last week, it's been an eye-opener in many ways. Going on a 5-day course to find out how to live with type 1 diabetes and get better understanding of my blood sugars, how they go up and down, and what I can do. So it doesn't change the nature of the illness, but it certainly informs me how to know what is going on. So I know about carbohydrates, I know about how to count the carbohydrates in any particular type of food. And in fact, I'm going to have to get a book on it, because it is quite complicated, and then match the amount of insulin I need to inject at different times of day to keep the blood sugar between 5 and 7. So I've been learning, and it was good to be in the company of people who are just there for one thing, diabetes. And the same is true of meetings I go to for recovery. I go to Alcoholics Anonymous, and if I had a drug problem, I'll go to Narcotics Anonymous, and if I had a food issue, I'll be going to Overeaters Anonymous. But out of all of those things, there is always a 12-step program of action. And if I went to all of these things at the same time, I could be working 36 steps. So, and that is 36 steps of action to put into practice on a daily basis. So the good news is, if we have one particular behaviour or substance, which is the primary addiction or concern, we can pick that one and then utilise those 12 steps to put everything else into balance and proportion. So there is no need, in my view, for me, and this is only me speaking about me, but other people have different opinions, I need only work 12 steps at any particular time in my life on a daily basis. And there's only one I can get right, and that's the not drinking for me. And if I don't drink on a daily basis, I could say I'm recovered yesterday, and I'm recovering today, because so far I haven't had a drink, and my behaviour is more balanced. So that is good, all to the good of good conscience. And in my videos I share the literature of AA and what's going on for me to, I suppose, settle me into what I'm trying to do on a daily basis, which is simply share a message of experience, strength and hope here, and to calm myself down into this moment where I am equal to anybody else. That is, I have one outlook of my own, which is informed by the wisdom learned by other people and shared. So AA meetings are critical for me, and I've got the preamble here on the back of this little card, which also has the Serenity Prayer, which I share at the end of these videos. That's the AA preamble, and it says this: I go to meetings, I'm an avid meeting goer, but I didn't go to one yesterday, I was too tired. And here we go. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And that is really why I do these videos. It's the primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And I share about fellowship of AA because that helps me most. But I also got great help from the medical profession, my family, once they understood the nature of the malady I had, an allergy to alcohol, and once addicted, always addicted. And if I drink, all bets are off, because I cannot stop. So it is the first drink that does the damage for me, and one drink will never do. Rather, one drink does the damage, and 1,000 never will do what it used to, which is to take the edge off, to create a place of numbness around feelings. And I thought it was joy and overcoming sadness. So drinking for happiness and drinking for sadness. And the gift is, if we had allowed our system to understand what joy is and what sadness is, and learned that we experience it far better without a drink inside us, to the right measure, right measure of feelings, that is the real feelings in reality, we would have found the spiritual connection to living, which is simply the truth of now. So I'm eternally grateful to AA and everybody who has been before, because they are unique, authentic people, making a unique, authentic life work on a daily basis. So I don't speak for fellowship, it's a sanctuary where people find their truth. And I would never ever want to speak for unique, authentic people who have a voice themselves, if they choose to use it, or utilise it, but most often they do in meetings. And most often they do in their daily lives, being able to tell the truth, to be open, to be honest, and to be willing to change and understand life a little bit better one day at a time. That is the absolute gift. So the AA fellowship is all about reality, not about some fundamental organisation. It's not a cult. It won't change you into something. Oh, people in it might try and change you, because don't forget it's full of people, unique and authentic, who have their own personal views about religion and everything else. They could be very prejudiced against everything but their own outlook. Could I be that? I could be. And I need to know where I'm coming from on a daily basis, which is to be equal with people. And I see that as the real gift. I'm running out of time as usual, but daily reflections for today. Fear and Faith, June 21st. The achievement of freedom from fear is a lifetime undertaking, one that can never be wholly completed. When under heavy attack, acute illness, or in other conditions of serious insecurity, we shall all react to this emotion, well or badly, as the case may be. Only the self-deceived will claim perfect freedom from fear, and indeed, we need a bit of fear in our lives to keep us on our mettle, as it were. It goes on to say, fear has caused suffering when I could have had more faith. There are times when fear suddenly tears me apart, just when I'm experiencing feelings of joy, happiness and a lightness of heart. Faith and a feeling of self-worth toward a higher power helps me endure tragedy and ecstasy. When I choose to give all my fears over to my higher power, I will be free. And for me, higher power is connected to God and good conscience. And I have a very nuts and bolts understanding of God. God is truth, God is love. God works through people. And on a daily basis I get a message of wisdom, experience and strength and hope, hopefully, from people around me. It's to the better and good of good conscience often. But we must look out for vexatious people in our lives and let them go if they need to be let out and gone, or we become like them. Anyway, enough of that. What I say at the beginning, or rather the end of these videos, is the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference and make maybe the best choices I can, just for today and more later.